I never imagined that a simple food delivery could change the course of my life. At 42 years old, divorced, and quietly tucked away in a sleepy Portland neighborhood, I thought I had already seen the chapters of love and adventure pass me by. But one rainy night, when the doorbell rang and a young man stood dripping wet on my porch, I had no idea he would turn my world upside down. My name is Emily Parker. I've been divorced for 3 years. My ex-husband, David, and I didn't part in flames. There were no shouting matches, no broken plates. Just the quiet, painful realization that we had stopped reaching for each other. The silence between us became unbearable, so we ended it. Since then, my days had been predictable, almost too predictable. I worked remotely as a freelance editor, often with only my cat, Luna, as company. Coffee cups piled up on my desk, the TV droned in the background, and time stretched endlessly. Life was steady, but dull. That Thursday night, the rain was relentless. Hungry and too tired to cook, I ordered Alfredo pasta from a little local spot called Marco's Kitchen. Half an hour later, the bell rang. When I opened the door, I saw him, a young man, no older than 20, rain dripping from his dark hair onto his jacket. His smile was warm, disarming, despite the storm soaking him through. "Delivery for Emily?" he asked, holding up the bag. "That's me," I said, handing him the tip I had already prepared. But when he shook his head and said softly, "It's okay, stay dry and enjoy your dinner," something about his voice lingered. It wasn't just politeness. It was real. Genuine. 4 days after, I couldn't shake the memory of that smile, that voice. And so, almost without thinking, I found myself ordering the same pasta the following week, secretly hoping he'd be the one to deliver it again. And he was. When I opened the door, he grinned as if we were old friends. "Back again," he teased, removing his raincoat. "Guess I'm hooked on Alfredo," I joked, though the pasta wasn't really what I was craving anymore. I noticed how tired he looked, and without thinking, I blurted, "Would you like some tea? You look like you could use something warm." He hesitated, but then nodded. "That would be nice." As I poured steaming cups, I asked his name. "Jason Matthews," he said. "Just turned 20. He lived with his mom and younger sister, working nights to help them while saving for community college. There was a calm steadiness about him that surprised me. He didn't carry himself like a boy. He carried himself like someone who had already been through too much. That first cup of tea turned into a ritual. My orders became more frequent, and often Jason would linger. Sometimes on the porch, sometimes in the kitchen. He'd share stories about fixing his sister's old laptop or dreams of designing apps. I told him about my own unfinished dreams of writing novels, dreams I had quietly buried under the safety of editing other people's work. It was subtle at first, the way our connection grew. A laugh shared at the door, his hands brushing mine as he passed me the bag, the warmth in his eyes when he looked at me, not like I was some older woman living alone, but like I was, me. One especially cold night, Jason showed up exhausted, his clothes damp and shoes muddy. My bike chain snapped. "I've been walking most of my shift," he admitted. His voice was low, strained. "Come inside," I insisted, almost before I realized what I was saying. "At least sit and warm up." He hesitated, then stepped in, dripping water onto the floor. I handed him a towel and made us soup. We sat at the kitchen table for hours that night, talking about everything, his father leaving when he was 10, how he tried to fill that space for his sister, his quiet fears about the future. For the first time in years, I felt truly seen, truly heard. From then on, Jason stopped by even when he wasn't delivering. Sometimes with coffee, sometimes just to check in. He helped me fix little things around the house, tightening a loose door hinge, replacing a light bulb I couldn't reach. We joked, we teased, and slowly, my quiet house started to feel alive again. I'd be lying if I said I didn't notice the tension building. Not the inappropriate kind, but the kind that comes when two souls brush against each other and recognize something familiar. I worried what others would think me, in my 40s, finding comfort in the company of someone so much younger. But when we were together, the weight of those thoughts slipped away. One Saturday, I was struggling to assemble a bookshelf I'd ordered online. Jason showed up to return a novel I had lent him, and when he saw me surrounded by scattered tools, he burst out laughing. "Didn't read the instructions, did you?" he teased. We spent the afternoon building it together, pizza boxes and laughter filling the living room. That night, we sat on the floor surrounded by books, talking about childhood memories and favorite movies. I hadn't laughed that hard in years. And then there were the quiet moments, the way he looked at me when I wasn't paying attention, the way our conversations lingered until neither of us wanted them to end. One evening, as the sun dipped low and painted the porch in gold, Jason turned to me and said, "You know, Emily, you're kind of my safe space." His words hit me harder than I expected. My throat tightened. "What do you mean?" He shrugged, eyes fixed on the fading sky. "I don't have many people I can be real with. With you. I don't have to be the guy holding everything together. I can just be Jason." My eyes welled up. "You've done more for me than you know too," I whispered. Silence stretched between us, comfortable and unspoken, our hearts saying what words couldn't. Eventually, Jason earned a scholarship to the local college. The night he got the acceptance letter, we celebrated with cake and takeout. His eyes sparkled with pride, and mine brimmed with tears I tried to hide. He promised to keep visiting, and though less often, he did. Every visit carried the same warmth, the same unshakable connection. Looking back, I realize now it was never about the pasta. Jason didn't come into my life with grand gestures. He came with kindness, with laughter, with patience. He showed up with a delivery bag on a rainy night and slowly delivered something far greater: hope, light, and the reminder that life isn't over at 42. Sometimes, it's just beginning again.